all of those actually you can take them out, and there's a cardboard somewhere that they may have supplied you, and you just have to write that in.
All right, well,
Because they assume that you would recognize people.
yes.
So that's why they put a picture, but the picture is too small.
But that doesn't make sense when you're dealing with elderly people. I'm not the only one whose eyesight is declining.
That's true, but with migrants that don't read English, or they recognize their face.
Of course, that's not the point. It's been designed for migrants and children that might have got lost on going to school or coming home from school or something.
And they've been trained to hit that button.
Yeah, and I'm now superfluous. I mean, nothing works after you're 70. You don't even have to pay tax. I don't have to do lots of things I used to do. I think if I never paid, I don't think the tax office will ever reach the level at which I owe them tax. It's never going to be worth the while to say hello to me, because they're chasing people that are swindling them out of millions of dollars.
They are.
And so that's their job, and that's what we all want them to do. Well, not all except
Well,
the crooks. The biggest crooks are the ones
I'm still waiting for them to go after Elon Musk and Google and Microsoft.
Well, yeah, you can wait. We're all waiting for Putin to drop dead or be shot.
Well, I think that might actually happen.
Well, it may actually happen.
Because
it doesn't happen to order. It doesn't happen without causing fresh disasters along the way. It's getting worse and worse.
yes, well, he's basically like Xi Jinping, who's an emperor.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but that's what. Well, China's a special case. It's so huge.
Well, so is Russia.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the USSR. That's
No, that's
true.
correct. But he's trying to get it back to being the USSR.
Yes.
And that's a losing battle. He's never going to win it in the long run.
Nah,
I'm not worried about that, and I won't be here anyway.
that won't happen.
No.
I can't see East Germany wanting to go back to being part of.
Oh, but none of us can understand that. and why are the Chinese, the two halves
Of Korea,
and Japan
yeah,
fighting each
yeah,
other?
yeah.
Korea itself,
Yeah.
it was touch and go for a bit, and my neighbours have been very quiet and sort of shaking their heads every time I say hello to them. And they're getting a little bit more optimistic, and we've just had the election, but whether
They
that
did.
will actually change things is to be seen.
Well, it also depends on how. What's the word? How strong the new president's
Yes.
going to be, whether he wants to reunite or whether he wants to stand alone. And that's the same with Taiwan.
Yes, it's similar. It's similar. And Japan has the neighbours, the Koreans.
The Koreans,
have the
yeah.
extra problem.
Yes.
That they intrinsically hate the
Well, it's no
communist
different from the English and the Scottish.
side. No, it's exactly the same.
It's just a different group of people.
Yeah, it's just tribes. And in the long run, they'll combine if they have a common enemy,
Yes.
and they'll go and kill each other when they don't have a common enemy.
Well, the common enemy now seems to be China,
Well,
with South Korea and Japan anyway.
well, maybe. I think. Anyway, it doesn't change people's habits or like, and it's the same as this woman who's just defected from the Greens
To the
being
Labour
head of the-
Party.
and
Yep.
getting a job straight into the.
That's all she wants. She
Yeah.
wanted a
No,
cabinet position.
Well, I think she wants to do good things in the world.
Yeah, but what is good?
Well, what she's doing is good if it gets a better result than
Well, the
the left-wing
Greens
party,
still
the Greens.
has the balance of power. Even though she defected, the Greens still has balance of
well, it
power.
has for some purposes. And we've got two houses which are quite independent, which is a very odd arrangement. I mean, the fact that there's the British have an upper and a lower house.
Yes.
But there's a bigger difference here in Australia, where it's
Well,
the
ours
workers
are
against-
elected.
Well, Well, you say that, but what fraction of the people actually vote? In here you have
Here it's 100%.
Yeah, because it's compulsory to vote.
Yes,
But how many countries have compulsory voting?
but that's how our two houses become independent, because we vote for them. Unlike the House of
Yeah,
Lords,
but-
which are...
Yeah, but you don't have to write anything on the voting ballot, but you have to turn up at the polling station. That's all.
That is true.
And anyone who's seriously wanting to, they thought I was being in one camp when they're actually in the other camp, has no problems at all.
Yeah.
And then they,
But if you look at the Bradfield, which is the one I think Liam will be most interested in, there is one vote separating them.
who's in Brad?
Bradfield is the last, in the last federal election.
Oh, it's one not yet settled.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Fair
It's
enough.
a Teal versus Liberals.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's all right. It comes down to that.
Well, it comes down to one vote, so they're actually looking at the Constitution and see what actually happens.
Well, we need to change the Constitution a bit and tidy it up. It's got some...
Well, if he's got one vote, he still has the majority.
Yes, it does, but it doesn't mean we have a peaceful world to live in.
No.
That's the problem, and it doesn't... You don't need anything like a peaceful world. I mean, minority parties have always had to fight to get in, and they get in for a bit, and then we screw it up.
that
Where are we going?
He left, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting for her to speak up.
That's all.
Close the window so I can actually hear her.
400 metres, turn right onto Lane Cove Road, A3.
Lane, turn right. Really?
No, she thinks it's a better route.
Oh, okay. I usually go
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
I've not turned right before.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you'll recognise it when you get there.
Turn right onto Lane Cove Road,
That's all right.
A3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's going to Sydney Olympic Park. I see where she's taking me.
Yeah.
Usually we go that way because we're heading towards Palang in Christina's. So.
Yeah. This will be okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Anyway, so you only really need to pack your bags. And what about tickets and so forth? What's happening with those?
I'm leaving that to other people.
Okay. What about passports?
Yeah, I've got my passport.
Alright.
Oh, we have been planning this for a long time, but I have to say that it's putting quite a lot of strain on me, in fact.
In what sense?
Well, I've just got too much to do. I don't get a day in peace. Every day I'm out I'm going to a birthday party, or I'm going to visit a doctor, or I'm going to do something else. And each time I think I've got a lot of spare time, someone else turns up or something else, and I'm not, there's nothing wrong with the things I'm doing. I'm enjoying them all because I like my friends and I get on well with lots of people. But at the moment, it makes life. I'm actually under pressure because I'm nervous about screwing things up.
What would you screw up there?
Well, I have got the beginning of Alzheimer's, although that's a meaningless word now.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
well, I mean,
so would majority of people your age,
That's right.
if not younger.
I know that too, but that doesn't change the situation I'm in.
No.
I am losing my marbles.
Okay.
I mean, I can still talk sensibly and interestingly and about things I know something about and like talking about.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean, well, it's examples just now, that
Continue
new
on
phone that
A3
Christina
7
got for me,
kilometres.
and at the moment, I've got to get her back to make it into something which I can actually use when I'm half asleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and got a big pain in my chest or something like that. So it's not working the way it was intended.
Right. Okay. That's probably because it's in between setup at the moment. It's not been finalised yet.
Well, Christina thinks it has been, but it hasn't, because she is very good in many respects, but she gets stuck in the groove herself, and is very good at fixing things, and she goes to impossible and sometimes to help with sometimes things. So I don't want to criticise her at all, or yourself. I mean, you know,
as I said to you, I
I
don't take things personally because that's the way it is.
Well, neither does Christina. But on top of that, she knows what she wants, and that she knows what seems to her to be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean she can explain it to me or understand what's disturbing me.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And I mean, I can't understand you, and you can't understand me at that sort of level. I mean, unless we happen to.
That's why I keep saying you need to express yourself and say when things isn't working out or what exactly that you want.
Well, that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
and
we take that on board.
And it's no problem. And the family are all more keen on staying friends with each other than they are in causing trouble.
Yes.
And it's extraordinary. I mean, Richard and Paula have a totally different relationship between themselves to the way Chris and Fernanda and I used to work together.
Yeah. Yep. And so does Christina and Graham.
That's right.
They're totally.
They're totally different as well.
Yeah.
And everyone is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You sort of assume if you know people quite well, but not intimately, you don't know what they're really doing or thinking.
Yeah.
And can't understand why they're worrying about something that seems trivial to me.
Yes. I mean, that's why I keep saying that as far as I can see, there isn't anything that is urgent.
No, you can't see that. But what I'm aware of is I have 5 days left, as you just said.
Yeah.
I'm liable to go out there without having what I need. What I would love to have would be suddenly an extra week because there's a strike of airlines or something like that. So we all sit home and nobody's out there. Well, it doesn't help because my family keep having birthdays and stuff.
And your family is not a very big family.
No, and what's more,
there's only 4 grandchildren. Imagine there are 17.
Yeah, but not many people have 17 grandchildren. There's only half in those days. Only a fraction of them survived to Ireland.
Well,
and in fact, a half of them only didn't survive until past the age of 5.
Fernanda wanted a football team.
Well, that's right. That's right. She said that. But that was
just as well it didn't happen.
Well, the reason it didn't happen was because when she had 3, she found out that was enough. And she was very determined not to. And whether she thought she should have abortions or not abortions, or whether she should have contraceptives or not, were all totally irrelevant when the chips came down. Fernanda's a woman and she did what she could handle.
Yeah.
And Jacinta Ardern gave a very interesting talk on the radio yesterday.
Oh, did she?
And,
I heard that she was visiting.
I don't know. I'm not sure if she's in Australia or she was being interviewed abroad. I know she was being interviewed on the radio.
Yes.
And, and they kept asking, and it was a TV. I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
But they said, sorry about what happened, and he said, she said, no, I didn't regret anything I did, and I don't miss it, and I don't want to go back to that. So it was.
That's right.
It was a good job while I had it.
Yes.
But I don't have that job now. I've got a different job.
She doesn't have that stress anymore.
Well, that's the point. And that's why half the politicians with any brains don't back down or work out ways to accommodate things. But when every word is being misinterpreted by every politician, if you're a prime minister of a country, it's an impossible job.
Yeah, but that's also deliberate on their part.
Yeah, but
because they're not truthful in coming forward.
They can be truthful.
They can be, but they prefer, or they seem to prefer, to provide some level of uncertainty.
Oh, well, sometimes they have to. But Albo is hopeless as a real prime minister because he dodges around and comes up with half-baked things. I never expected him to get the landslide as he didn't, and it was exactly the same reaction that Trump got.
Yes.
And he reacted actually like a normal human being in the sense that he says, I don't believe it, look, God's on my side. And,
Yes.
And literally, you know, maybe
It was a belated result because they saw that he should have got it ahead of Biden.
who Trump should have done.
Trump believes that he. Well,
Trump believed it.
That the
but
election was stolen.
Well, he didn't even vote. He didn't try to win. He won without. It wasn't anything to do with democracy.
No. He's just manipulated. I mean, they've got a funny democracy as well.
Well, that's what it looks like to us, and that's why it's interesting talking to these friends from Korea and Japan and so on.
Yeah.
And both sides will freely admit that they're not happy. The reports, I believe, in the Korean election, is exactly right. Oh, it's come this way. That's right. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah,
I think I'll go
left
down
here. Yeah, that's right.
this lane.
Sounds right to me. You never know what she thinks.
Well, she's gone all quiet.
Yes, she has. So she must be happy with what's happening, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's just go straight
Take
ahead
out to
here,
Victoria Road.
Yes.
We swing
Yeah,
around.
that's the old route. That's where I used to go all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit like what's happened with me getting lost in between Beecroft and my house.
Yeah.
Because it was dark and there was a big, and I thought it was a big new bridge, which there's no new bridge. It's the old bridge. If I'd just gone a little bit further, I would have known where I was. But you can't tell which of the side streets is the one you have to go down, which will let you actually get through
Yes.
to where you want to be.
Yes.
And it's all designed for motor cars and people in motor cars.
Yes.
And pedestrians are left to struggle as best they can.
Yes.
And old people are left alone because they're too much trouble to look after if they haven't got their own people looking after them, basically.
In 300 metres, turn left onto
I
Hatton
mean, my
Street.
next door neighbour, everyone says, why can't your neighbour just check on your post and things like that?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just know because she's more disabled than I am. But logic and thinking is better than mine.
Okay.
She doesn't make mistakes. She knows who's
Take
telling
the
the
next
truth.
left
who's
onto
not.
Hatton Street, then turn left onto
And she's
Blacksmith
got a
Road.
bunch of kids with this that they get on well together. It's quite similar to us. And she enjoys when she just relaxes for a quarter of an hour to chat to me, and then she's had enough and she's tired and she has to go and have a cup of tea or lie down for a bit.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon she goes for an afternoon nap and then resurfaces. All I do is keep an eye on the lights going on after. And if the lights don't get turned on, I go and ring the doorbell and make sure she's not
okay.
lying on the floor somewhere.
Yeah. No, it's
Even then she can't even get out to help me or do anything because she's too scared of falling down the steps. Which is right, because that's what everyone tells
Have you got
so.
her children's number to call?
Yeah. Well, I haven't got them. They're in my diary, some of them.
Right, okay. Well, if there was an emergency, you just call the ambulance anyway, so...
Well, that's what we did with Fernanda when she got stuck.
That's right.
And that the first time, it was when the firemen came in to help me, they realised what the matter was.
Yeah.
And they do very good about it, straightforward.
They do the best that they can. I mean, that's...
Quite cheerful about doing their job and having something to do, because most of the time they're just sitting waiting for calls, 90% of the time. I don't know exactly what they do in their spare time. They must have something to keep in practice.
Yes.
Keep them on their toes. That's why my dad got good at playing billiards. He was factory fire watch.
Okay.
But my mum and dad didn't tell each other things about themselves. They would independently say to me occasionally, just occasionally, but they were very close. 90% or 99%
Right.
of the time. And there were things that they disagreed on.
Uh-huh.
And you just have to live with that.
I mean, that's normal for any relationship
Well,
anyway.
any two
so,
people, it's why relationships come and go.
yeah.
And it's just some people are lucky and some are unlucky.
Or some are willing to compromise
Yeah, well,
and
yeah,
actually
that's
voice themselves or explain what they're thinking.
Yes.
If everyone's pig-headed, and it's not going to resolve anything.
No, and it's not just that. The biggest problem is the simple lack of understanding of what's actually the person's worried about.
Yes,
And the person themselves can't identify it, or they wouldn't be worried in the first place.
that's right.
And if you're having a stressful life for whatever reason, it's a strain on you, and it's better if you can somehow deal with the things that are causing trouble.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't mind talking to strangers and going to a shop for something. I can make jokes about the fact that I can't find things I want. And that's why I think that Coles is marginally better supermarket than Woolworths. But they're both out to capture people and sell them stuff.
That's yeah. I mean, that's their
And that's their drive.
prime motive.
Well, it's the same as politicians.
And also the banks.
And the banks, this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I don't. Well, they're just human beings. And there's always going to be points of agreement and disagreement.
Yeah. Yep. Here comes a bus. Oh, it's a bit wild. Bus mounted the curb.
But it is a regular.
It is a regular
City
bus.
bus.
It's just, maybe he's just behind schedule by a minute and just trying to catch up with that 1 minute.
Well, I was quite impressed with how good this new bus service is now that I've discovered there's one every half hour. It goes from near my local shops.
Yes,
and it takes me
around the
to
corner.
station. Yeah. And, but I still go for the walks. What I can't understand is that when I tell people I'm going for a walk, why are you going for a walk? Actually, because I want to stay active and I like walking.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Most people clearly don't feel that way, and they'd rather spend the money going to a gym and hammering away.
I think there are a lot of people that don't even do that. They
And
just
there
sit
are
at home.
well, that's what used to happen. People had hard jobs. They worked like dogs for
Yeah, until retirement age, and then they drop off after 2 years or something
less than 2 years in many cases.
from retirement.
Just to switch themselves off.
That's why my superannuation is actually growing, because there's no one to pay.
Right. Sorry, how do you mean there's no one to pay?
Well, most people retire before I do. Like I basically, when I lost my job or walked away from it, I'm still maintaining the super fund.
Yeah.
And a lot of teachers, when they retire at 65, they're dead by the time they're 67.
Yes.
So they don't have to pay them out, and there's a whole
Yeah, that's what's gone wrong.
cache of money there.
And that's the fundamental problem that the advanced countries have run into, of having half the population living into their 80s now.
Yes.
Not their early 60s.
Yeah.
And that's just wrecked the model and developed over the years.
Yeah. And with the teaching profession, especially with the public schools, the government schools, our pay isn't as high as those in the private schools. So, but our superannuation makes up for it if we live long enough.
Yes. Well, that's actually what my heart specialist said to me last time I had a once every 5-year checkup.
Right.
And he said, you may never need it all.
Okay.
Which meant that people that had gone past 80, and it wasn't worth my time or the government's time to keep me alive. I mean, you can say pretty close terms. So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, sort of, but
Anyway, it's...
I'll be.
Well, it's good that you've got yourself into a pretty good situation.
Well, yeah.
Where I first got to it.
Yeah. Well, when you knew me, Fernandez was also in the same boat, so
Yes.
it was just an annoyance.
But the odd thing with me and Fernanda is we've got that big collection of books.
Yes.
You know,
500 metres,
and
use
we
the
thought,
second
both
from
of
the
us,
right
that we
lane
would
to
sit
turn
down
right
and
onto
work on them
Westbourne
together,
Street.
these popular accounts of
Right.
how Einstein got these conclusions. You know.
Uh-huh.
And we never did that thing at all. We were just too busy doing things with the family and enjoying going to concerts and doing other things.
Uh-huh.
We never did get around to doing any significant maths thing.
No, because it would have been good, but things didn't work out.
And it's the same for
Second from
composers.
the right lane to turn right onto Westbourne Street, then
If
turn
you're
left onto
successful,
Marlborough
or any
Street.
successful actor,
Uh,
anyway, you've got to be prepared to say odd things.
well,
Contradictory things.
contradictory things, or as we change, as we learn more, we revise what our beliefs
Well,
are.
it's good if you... that's right, and I'm quite well aware of that in my own case, but what I'm realising is that I'm changing my beliefs significantly. And
Turn left onto Marlborough Street.
but it's all just part of just the best, finding the best... I better stop talking now because I don't know where we're going.
At least I can hear her, so she's calling out
400
Yes,
metres,
yes.
use the right 2 lanes to turn right onto Lyons Road.
to Lions Road. Oh, you're taking me through 5 Dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's probably right. We're going to end up in a building site again like last time.
Yes.
The best way of getting a car in won't be by going down the main road. It'll be going in through some mysterious... Well, road.
And she knows what the traffic conditions
And the conditions.
like
Yeah.
now, whereas
Right.
I'm just... Last week I was just flying by. Oh, I know where it is. That's they'll do. Anyway.
Well, I still think it's remarkable that 90% of the adult population of Australia can drive themselves around successfully and never have an accident, or never one that gets reported or has any consequences.
Yeah, and I
It's more
think...
better just to keep quiet
Use
if
the
you
right
scratched
2
each other's
lanes to
back.
turn right onto Lyons Road.
Yeah.
I've told you this story many times. A woman drove her car backwards into me sitting waiting,
Hmm.
and she said, "You just banged into me." And I said, "I was stationary." You banged into me. And she said, "Oh, what am I going to tell my husband?" I could have said, "That's your business, dear." But I said, "Well, I'm sorry, but best of luck."
Yeah. Let's go with this one.
And the other thing is, the funny thing is, the funny conversations I have with health people while I'm waiting to see the chemist or the doctor. And the chemist's particularly odd because the chemists are not doctors, but they do not have a lot of knowledge of it.
They do.
The equipment does. So all the other people have been told by the doctor to do something or other, and they want to work out what's going on.
Yes.
They all
They
confide in the
ask.
chemist. And
Yes.
then the chemist is happy to chat to them all. And he's making
Continue
a
on
handsome
Lyons
living,
Road
and
for
he'll
2
be playing golf
kilometres.
more often than he is surgery. And it's the same with the specialist doctors.
Uh-huh. Because the doctors frequently are on a different level and they're not communicating at in basic English.
No. It's the same problem as opposition.
They're using terms, concepts, and they just assume everyone knows what they're talking about.
And that's my complaint about the legal system. I mean, it's entirely based on telling fibs. I don't think the criminal
think that's their training.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's meaningless because the concept of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, is not measurable or determinable. I mean, it's like this woman at the moment who either bumped off what was her husband's.
Oh,
good friends and so on,
the mushroom.
The mushroom business.
Yeah.
And it's going to just drag on forever, and as the legal system evolves, the rules will change.
Yeah. And the rules do change as society changes,
That's right,
because
exactly.
the laws sort of reflects society.
Yes.
Although having said that, Newington College tried to admit girls, and part of their charter, which was written in the 18...
Was this Tony? What's his name's college?
No, it's a different person.
Right.
The charter written in, I think it was 1880 or something, said that its primary focus was to educate the youth.
Yes.
What's the definition of a youth?
Yes.
Is it boys?
Yes.
Does it exclude girls?
Yeah.
And that's what they actually went to court. And they actually pulled out the Oxford Dictionary
Yeah, well,
because they believed that it was written in at the time. Well, the Macquarie University dictionary didn't exist back then, so they were trying to.
Well, I bought a Macquarie dictionary when I landed in Australia, and realised I was going to stay here for a bit because I needed to understand what the words meant to
400
Australians.
metres, turn left onto Ingham Avenue.
Ingham Avenue. That's Lamrock. Lamrock? Ingham. Oh, it's at 400 metres, which is up here somewhere.
Yep.
Turn left onto Ingham Avenue.
Where that car's going. There it's going. Yep, that's the one. Thank you.
What did you feed into to start this whole business?
200 metres,
I just
at
said,
the roundabout, continue straight
take
stay
me to
on Ingham
Casa do Bonfica.
It's the name of the football
Bonfica.
club. No, but
Yeah.
Benfica's the Spanish team. Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Is that right? No, that's 5 Dog Park.
Yes, that's the. No, she's not saying it. I think she'll tell you to go round and round and round.
Oh, if I meant,
400 metres, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Ingham Avenue.
she'll say make a U-turn, dummy.
Yes. Yes, saying the name of the street doesn't help when there are no names on the streets.
That's right.
There are fewer and fewer names on streets now.
Especially when they're replacing it with A numbers.
Yes.
A30.
Yeah,
What the hell is an A30?
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what I found when I got lost in the dark trying to walk back to my own home, which I knew was only about a mile away.
Yeah.
And a big train went past. I thought, I'm safe now. I just follow the railway lines. But it just went
600
down and
metres,
down into the
turn
bush.
right onto Henley Marine Drive.
And didn't go any further than that.
Henley Marine. Well, that's not 600 metres.
Something else stopped on.
No, it's right. That's Fairlight Street. Henley Marine Drive.
Henry's the famous. It used to be a rowing course in England. Henley Regatta.
Ah, okay.
It's their national. They think something Jim got involved in when he was
Must
on
be distant.
Take the next right onto Henley Marine Drive.
You could have said at the NT junction.
Yes. Different words work for different people. Can you see through me or
Yeah.
take my head off for a moment?
No.
Continue on Henley Marine Drive for 800 metres.
Yep. This is one I've walked around with for now.
Have you?
Oh, yes.
I don't remember ever coming down this way. an open drain. Oh, it's actually probably the old river
Yes.
that's turned into a drain.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yes. Yeah, this is the way we sometimes used to come and go.
Do I go straight down? She didn't say turn left. She didn't say anything.
She's still not saying anything, so hopefully she's very happy with the situation. Or maybe she's puzzled. Speak up, love, we can't hear you.
Huh?
Go lower down again. So. There are, yes, I know these shops. Yeah, Peterson's.
Okay, I think she just beamed at me, so going the wrong way. But then she usually says something.
She must be programmed to say, just wait a minute, wait until we see where it goes next.
Just pull over here and see what it's doing.
Yes. Provoke her into saying something. And you say, I'm lost. You've driven off the map.
No, this is right.
That's
That's why she hasn't said anything.
Yeah, yeah, she's
Just-
happy. Just keep going.
Keep going.
She knows more than we do anyway. She's certainly going to be more up to date with the state of the roads and the traffic.
Yep.
How's the time
Okay.
going? Are we still all right? Or are we...
It's 20 past, 20 past, but that's fine. I think I told Liam and Heather to be there by 12, so they just.
It's about 20 past. Is it?
It's now 20 past.
20 past, okay.
It's
Well,
taken
it's
us
not a big formal occasion.
No, it isn't. It's taken me a little bit longer than I expected.
It's my fault.
No, no.
Well, it was because I had to get shaved and all those things, but Epping was there. But I really wanted to say thanks to
300
Christina for
meters
getting me
at
a
the
nice new
roundabout,
phone, but I
continue
couldn't make
straight
it
onto Ramsay Street.
Hmm?
work, so I wrote her an email.
Okay.
To start with, he refused to let me type into the slot that I wanted to type in, but I eventually got my cursor in a place that it would let me type.
Right.
And the next thing I looked, and it said I was in the right place. But that cost me about half an hour.
Right. Okay.
It definitely looks like Sydney. But it could be one of the suburbs. It's different. Sydney suburb from the first half of the 20th century.
That's right. It's
Oh yeah,
Not,
I recognise this corner.
In 400 metres, turn left onto Marion Street.
Yes, that's left on Marion Street. That takes us up and we go across the railway and into Petersfield. Except we're not going to Petersfield today, so
it's
right.
we're actually it's right next door.
Yes,
Take the
This
next
one.
left onto Marion Street.
yeah, this was our staff entrance.
Going towards Annandale
It was nice.
and Leichhardt.
Perfect.
In 600 metres, turn right onto Flood Street.
Now that name rings a bell. I think we've done Flood Street before.
Oh yeah, we got to the railway line.
This on the
That's
railway
yeah,
line.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go further up to the right.
Yeah. I think it's the traffic lights. We turn right.
Yes. And then you do the left turn, or it depends which way.
Well,
we're trying to, which building site we're trying to get to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why we didn't go Portuguese restaurants earlier instead of doing pubs all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it was good.
Yes.
At least we're now caught up with it.
Yes.
There aren't that many.
No, well, there's not that many Portuguese, and they are concentrated in this bit of Sydney. It's one bit, and then out west there's another big batch of them.
Yeah.
When you get down to the south.
Actually, that's Foster Street. That's not the one. I want to go flat. Come on. Come on. No, he moves.
So you're doing your own route now, or are you?
No. It's up here somewhere. Flood Street.
Turn right onto Flood Street.
Okay.
Well done. Okay.
So I now know if she's silent, just keep going.
Yes. Yes. Yes, there are multiple routes that can get you to where you want to.
Yeah, well, Sydney's more or less a grid anyway, so...
In 150 metres, at the roundabout, continue straight to stay on Flood Street.
The good thing about driving in Sydney or in Australia is the roads are a lot wider than in England.
Yes. And that's why
Especially
they have
in
much
London.
slower limits in London.
Yeah.
Buses have to go very slowly. Otherwise they get a lot more dead passengers.
Obviously we go straight up because she hasn't said anything.
Gone off the bits.
Oh, that's going up towards Petersham.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
School of Languages there.
I know that garage there. So the main road.
That's Parramatta Road,
That's
I
right.
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is because that's right over there.
Yes. Yeah, this is. So we're going right here, and the left hand.
Just go straight up, I
Oh, you're
thought.
going straight up, okay. Isn't it time?
Should be there soon.
Yeah, no, it's close.
Okay.
In 300 metres, turn left onto Railway Terrace.
Oh, yes.
Into railway.
Yeah, it's right, but then you do a right turn usually after that, I think.
Could be. We'll see. She only gives me one instruction at a time.
Yes.
Because it becomes
Yeah, I used to go up there.
no. That's Brighton.
Oh,
This must be Railway Terrace here.
Turn left onto Railway Terrace.
Yep.
yeah, this is precisely.
Over the line.
I was going straight in over the centre of Petersham, basically.
Yes.
Petersham Station is here.
Uh-huh.
In 400 metres, continue straight onto Livingston Road.
She wants us to go straight across.
I think so.
Continue straight onto Livingston Road.
And then she might see us on the left. So I don't know, it's all about exactly where it is.
Hmm.
In 600 metres, turn left onto Sydenham Road.
Sydenham Road. 600 metres. Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's past the
Must be
safe,
these
isn't it?
lights. Yeah.
This is-
Yeah. Oh, that's that castle thing.
Yeah, and it's down here is where Paola had a lodgings in her place where the lady of the house used to shout at her because Catherine, no, Fernanda had this room
Right.
And the next door neighbour, which is sort of
Turn left onto Sydenham Road.
yes.
Okay. I think we're almost there.
Yep.
That's the park.
Yep.
In 400 metres, turn left onto Centennial Street.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it. Must be these lights. Is this Centennial? No, that's Park Road. Is this Centennial? No, that's Neville.
Turn left onto Centennial Street, then you will arrive at your destination.
Okay.
So that's what's left.
Yep. Ah, whose car is that?
Is that the Graham or something?
No, it's Heather's car.
Oh, it's Henson.
I think.
You have arrived.
Okay.
Right.
Bit abrupt.
Oh,
You have
right.
arrived.
Yeah, we have. We're in a big empty car park. Fantastic. Well done.
What's that say?
That's superficially very similar to
President.
where we met last week.
We're not president.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a fancy old house up there.
Yes.